You're listening to the Tony Conley Morning Show on more compelling talk radio, 1320 WILS, 1320WILS.com. The Center for Science and Public Interest releases a list yearly of high-calorie, high-fat, high-sodium, high-sugar meals served at chain restaurants. The Cheesecake Factory has an item that is at the top of the list. Let's learn a little bit more about this from Dr. Gerald Edelman, who's a 1320 WILS and Fox News Radio expert. He is the author of Sugar Rehab, and we talk about the Sugar Rehab book constantly when we have Dr. Edelman on. Gerald, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good this morning. It's an interesting topic.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's talk about the Cheesecake Factories, and my wife loves this place. The Cheesecake Factories peanut butter chocolate cake cheesecake. Boy, it's got a lot of calories and fat grams and sugar in it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I try to simplify everything to help people navigate through, eating in our modern culture. So the simplification of this is don't mix sugar with fat. That's the problem. If you just, and I don't want to be a fanatic about it. Obviously, that sounds really good, right? But when you can actually navigate your way through any fast food or any restaurant safely. And with Cheesecake Factory, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but they have sugar-free cheesecake.
Yeah.
And so I would advise your listeners that, if you have to have some dessert, eat sugar-free cheesecake. And I want to also try to advise your listeners, the mixture of fat with sugar is what's dangerous. We're all trained to think that fat is bad, but actually it's mixing fat with sugar. That's when your body starts using the fat in a bad way. Mm-hmm. So simplify the way we look at ingredients and simplify the way you think about foods. What I advise is just be aware of how much sugar there is and try to keep it below 2 grams per serving. That's simple.
Okay, Dr. Edelman, I don't heed your advice. I'm going to go ahead and eat that fatty stuff, but what I have learned from you is the moderation. So instead of my pre-marriage quarter of a chocolate double layer cake, I'll just have a thin slice and just try to do that stuff in moderation.
Yeah, and nobody can argue with moderation because that's really a sane way to approach your life. I will say one thing, though. If any of your listeners are suffering from diabetes or high blood pressure and they're obese, we need to have you a little less than moderation. We need to just have you really aware that decrease your sugar to 2 grams per serving or less and stay away from mixing sugar with fat. So that those people that are listening out there that have a problem, we need to just be a little stricter with them, right?
Yeah, Dr. Edelman, I've had to learn how to change my diet. I have several members in my immediate family, 2 sons and a wife, who either have gluten or egg or overall dairy allergies. And so we've learned about the Whole Foods and the Trader Joe's and the eating healthy and cutting out the processed foods. And even when we do fast food, instead of going to McDonald's or Burger King, we're going to the Chipotle's and that kind of thing. It's a little bit more expensive and it's a little bit more of a pain, but we sure feel better, about what we're eating. And as a result, I think our bodies are functioning better.
Well, I really respect what you're saying, and congratulations on being more aware, and with you and yourself and your family. But I will tell you, the average American person does not know how to navigate through fast food restaurants. So there's 2 things. One, fast food restaurants serve a purpose, right? We're all busy. We have to have nutrition. But number 2 is you have to know how to navigate through them. So you can actually go to McDonald's. You just have to know how to order. And the principle there is don't mix fat with sugar. So, for example, if you're going to have a burger, take the bun off and ask for a knife and fork. If you're going to order at McDonald's, you can't lose weight. There's been all these articles about how people lose weight eating McDonald's diet. Well, they're pretty selective. You have to know how to navigate. So you're going to order for breakfast some eggs with the sausage, the big breakfast, but tell them not to give you the pancakes and the muffin. See, that's not mixing fat with sugar.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to order a burger and eat it with a knife and fork and throw the bun away, make sure you substitute the fries with a side salad. And so I don't think a lot of people, including your listeners, understand that you can navigate through and tell these fast food restaurants what you want. You just have to be armed with the knowledge.
And folks,
that makes sense?
And folks can grab your book, Sugar Rehab, at your website and in bookstores?
Yes, sir. My website is sugarrehabbook.com, and that's 2 R's and 2 B's, all one word. And please go to the site. There's some interesting video there. And it's on Amazon. It can be downloaded on your Kindle, or it can be purchased. It's not an expensive book. I'm not trying to sell a lot of expensive products. Just trying to arm you with some knowledge.
Dr. Gerald Edelman is a 1320 WILS and Fox News Radio medical expert. Thanks so much, Dr. Edelman.
Thanks for having me on. It was really fun.
It's the Tony Conley Morning Show on 1320 WILS and 1320WILS.com.